internet and we can actually have some quality. Yes. Yes, just you can. We're live right now on the YouTube channel, Father of Glory YouTube, which is going to be eventually changing the name to, geez, I can't remember the new name. Life Imagined Vibrational Shakalaka Bam Bam. I haven't come up with the rest of it. You know, it's one of those things. I don't like the term ministry like I used to. So, but welcome to those that are viewing this on YouTube. And please just go to the Father of Glory YouTube and you can share it to Facebook. I encourage you to share it to all your pages. And my wife's sharing it to our page as well, both Facebooks. It's just the internet is too slow to do several platforms here. And we're really excited about tonight. It looks like we actually have already been having our whatever we're doing, getting our groove on and you know, moving in the fluidity of divinity and oneness. But I am really excited. And again, we don't have anything planned. When we come together for motion and movement. We come together to rip the veils. We come together for the next phase, for the next season, for the next upgrade, okay? And we are in a season and an upgrade. I believe it's 5-5 today, right? Right? And that's right, today. And I believe I need you, honey, to hand me my phone. So I want to, you ain't gonna be able to see it, but I watched this video on is that the one you watched? That was a good one, right?
What I want to tell you is, before you read this,
Uh-huh.
the last week, our weather here was so crazy, and there was a circle of rain, and all it did was it kept going in a circle. It would go up to Canada, down and around. It never blew away like the gesture does. It went in a circle, and I kept saying, "We're stuck in a vortex."
We're stuck in a vortex.
And I was right in the middle of it.
Wow.
So now read it.
Okay, well, I'm going to play it.
Many of us have been incredibly intense. On April 20th, there was a new moon in Aries and a solar eclipse. And that was the moment that we entered an eclipse portal. And we've been in it for the last 2 weeks. And on May 5th at 1:34 p.m. Eastern, there will be a full moon lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. And that will be the end of the eclipse portal. And whenever you're in that kind of a portal, it's really trying to push you forward in the most progressive and healthy ways. It's a time of massive transformation, of radical change or revelation. And it's the end of something that has been dragging you down for a very long time. Everything's in this hyper fast motion. It's kind of like a vortex where things end and new things begin. And if you've been feeling off and exhausted and alone, just know that that's very normal. Your body is registering the nature of the world right now, which just feels wild and out of control and volatile. And it's almost like our bodies need a moment to catch up. If it's tired, just let it rest. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to scream, scream. Whatever you have to do to nourish yourself, do that right now. This is the universe trying to slow you down so that you can sit in the truth for a moment. The truth of you.
The truth of you. I want you to get that. So we are in a time, and how many know that when stuff starts happening in the observable universe, we're becoming aware of the kingdom within, right? And so today being a day of the end of old things, the beginning of new things, shifting, healing of breaches, upgrades, technical upgrades, DNA upgrades. How many know we're in a DNA upgrade right now? How many know that if you've been experiencing symptoms that look like autoimmune disease, symptoms that look like sickness and death, you're actually upgrading your DNA? Do you know that it's not a lack, it's not something negative happening? It's actually a shifting of your DNA that's happening, all right? And you do not have to receive the report of the 3D conclusion. You can receive the revelation of 5D proclamation, okay? Because we are upgrading. And this is what this gathering is. It's the above and beyond. So welcome to the above and beyond 5D revolution this weekend, amen? It's going to be off the hook, and it already is off the hook because there's no more hooks left, okay? Unless you're Captain Hook. I don't know. That's one of my dad jokes. Sorry. But the point is, shakalaka. The ships are here. So I just want to welcome those that are viewing us online and those that are present. It's funny, we never made a flyer for this event. It's the first time. We didn't. We couldn't. One announcement on a video and one little post saying we're going to be getting together, and we didn't even give details. It was packed out in less than a week. And so we're like, don't bother to do a flyer. We're here. Now, why? Why is it? Because you are those that are done with 3D living. You are those that are done with 3D living. Okay? Now, it doesn't mean you're going to, disappear, but you will disappear in the eyes of those that remain in 3D. You will disappear before them. You ever had a breakthrough in your life and all the friends that you thought were your friends all of a sudden were gone? It's because they can no longer see you because you upgraded to another dimension. When you awaken in a new season, in a new reality, you've changed timelines. Tonight, we have already changed timelines, and we're about to realize the timeline we've changed. The new heavens and the new earth is actually that which is in the beginning. We think there was an old heavens and an old earth, and there even hasn't been a first one yet. It's all been the script to prepare you as a clue in the dream of God to wake up as a birthing star seed, as a birthing universe, to actually enter the raw reality of the beginning. So we're not even there yet. This is before the beginning, in the contemplation of God discovering himself. Okay? Now that will blow your mind, right? But I'm not here to explain, I'm here to exclaim. My seasons of explanation are over. Jesus didn't explain himself at all, did he? He let the chips fall where they may. Honey, can I borrow you to fix this, please? I'm always struggling with these wires. Feeling pretty wired tonight. But at least the puppet strings have been cut, right? So before we get started, which means there is no beginning or end, I just got to release some shakalaka bam bams. So I want Pearlie, your friends, all three of you, come up here for a second here. Just come up here because I have something. I'm not going to wait till the appropriate time to pray for you. I have something. Shaka. Come on, Kay. Come on up. Come on down to Jesus in Wonderland. Shakalaka. Wow. It's a good drink. Honey, can I borrow you, my love? And shakalaka, anybody else who wants to just come up here and just release on these ladies? Because I just feel like, I don't know what it is, but this is your time right now. So you're front and center stage. And so just stand here and I just want you to close your eyes and just receive. Because people are going to come up and they're just going to give you impartations and words right now. I have no idea what's going on in your life right now in this season, but purpose is about to be manifest like you've never seen, okay? You're going to be a lion that roars. You're actually not quiet. You're actually not reserved. That's called repression. And you've been repressed because there's been blindfolds in your past of stereotypes where you were told what you were to be, what you were to do, what your aspirations were. And you have yet to make a decision for yourself beyond the influence of your history. But tonight, your history is going to be undone. And you're going to realize it was a script you wrote to pretend you were less than who you were just because it was fun as indestructible divinity. Now, that might not make any sense, but you're going to sense it. And you're going to begin to move in it. And you're going to begin to come into a whole new, greater place of grace, of face-to-face, of running a race in unlimited space. You're going to begin to move and groove. Whoa! Whoa, that's a nice drink. Drink that in. Whoa! Let it flow like fire, like fire, like fire. Rivers of fire in your innermost being. Rivers of fire in your innermost being. Are you married? Okay. I see something's going to begin to shift there, but it sometimes doesn't look, it looks worse before it gets better. Have you ever heard that term? Okay. There's going to be an undoing of things. There's an undoing of things in your husband. I don't know exactly what that means because I don't know the situation, but there is an undoing of things in him, mindsets, things that are shifting, some healing that's coming to his life, something between him and his mother, okay, that goes way back that you trigger him in, okay? So I see I see there's something to do with the mother and restoration with the mother. And I'm not talking about adulthood. I'm talking about repressed stuff that he's not even conscious of. Stuff we file away. And we think, I don't know why I feel the way I do about women. Right? Your femininity is being restored right now. Your femininity is being restored right now. And you have a voice and you have a say. And you've got something to say. And you've got something to give. And so we just break you open to receive that. All right? Just stand there and receive. Okay, I'm going to have to pull people out that I already saw had a word. Is that it? Okay. Of course, Jackie, come on up here. Come here. Yes, come on. Yes. Yes. Do you know why I call people out? Because you don't receive until you pour out what you have. Yes. Oh. Yes. Yes. Yes, it's yeah. You might want to just hold her up there. Yes. Yeah, come over here and put your hands on this one here, right in the middle. The mother, I want you to release that motherhood realm, that mother's realm.
Oh, no.
Just release it. Release it because
Look at this.
you got something for her. You've got something for her. And what you have for her is about to heal a lot of her history right now. This is the time for history to heal. You can't go into the upgrade unless you've dealt with your shadows. Deal with the shadows, and you'll come into your upgrade. There's a beautiful realm there where you've been questioned. The feminine has been suspicious of you. You're always told what you should be and to be careful or else this might be, and all the caution that's been put upon you, when now it's time for love and affirmation of the motherhood of God to wrap around you and to embrace you and say, well done, daughter, go for it, be wild, be crazy, go for it. There's a visible manifestation of the embrace of affirmation manifesting right now. Wow. Oh, that's...
Pearly!
There goes my ear.
Oh, Pearly! Let me tell you. Woo! Okay. I see such a boomerang happening right now. You brought Eunice to us, and then Eunice brought you to us! Woo! Because you tried to run and hide, and it's okay. It's all okay that you did because you didn't understand. But I'm going to tell you, you took the leap, and you came, and you showed up. And I'm going to tell you right now, and this is crazy, but I get flashbacks of giving you words for years and years and years. And I said you were forerunning for the generations in your family, and you have. And this is the time that their timelines are changed because you came here today this gathering. I'm going to tell you, there is going to be breakthrough, fruit coming in that you can't even imagine. For there is a germination coming forth from all those seeds we've all sowed in you, and they are going to just explode into a revelation that's going to take you on a journey up and out that you never dreamed or could have even expanded upon or expected on the inside of you. And you're going to say, it was worth it all. It was worth it all. And it's been a crazy hard journey, and I know what you've been through. But I'm telling you right now, there's a whole new shift in your perspective. There's a whole new shift in how you're looking at things. I'm going to tell you, you're getting a new lens already tonight, and you're going to see everything differently. And the replay of your life is going to go forward before your eyes, and you're going to see it in a different perspective. And you're going to be like, whoa, that's why. It's almost like check. For such a time as this, it's the check. And boom, it's just going to be, okay? I'm going to tell you, it will be. There is such an accelerated realm of what's going to happen here this weekend, and I'm telling you right now, you have stepped into it right off the bat. You're in the center of it. You are not left behind. You belong here. You are one of us. You might not remember yet, but when you leave, you're going to know you are a part of this tribe. You are loved by everybody here, and you are needed, and you belong, and you're a part. And we need you. And we need you, Pearlie, to be you in every part that you are. Woo! And you, little firecracker, holy cow. Woo! You did it. You got her here. Ah! Woo! I know. That was like, whoa, you weren't backing down either. You're fierce, okay? You're fierce. I'm going to tell you right now. Don't ever think that your fierceness and the tenacity that you're to hold it back, okay? Because you are crazy, wild, and brave, and carry a truth-packed nuggets for people that are going to change their lives forever, okay? So you got to let loose. And there's people here that need the truths that you have. So you've got to let loose with that rapid fire that is on the inside of you. It is going to be uncapped. We uncap the rapid fire on the inside of her right now. And we say, you are going to flow. You are going to grow and flow. Nothing held back any longer. Woo! 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 Whoa! Woo! Woo! Let it be. Let it be. I just see the Father coming and placing a beautiful crown of flowers on you. Just a crown of flowers. A crown of flowers just for you. To just honor you and love on you. And to bring you back to the days that you wanted to become the princess that you always wanted to be. And you are that princess. You're going to look in many mirrors this week and see that princess before you and who you are. The reflections are everywhere. Change forever. Change forever. And it's just going to be so worth it all. Woo! You are just a firecracker. Woo!
That is powerful. All right. So, I want you to just release it. I want you to release who you are to the people. Because this girl is on fire. I mean, she cannot be contained. And she doesn't need to be contained. And you need to break people out of containments, because everything you journey through is for their freedom to break forth. So I just want you to just break them loose. Who cares what it sounds like? Just do whatever's in you. I don't care if you just hoot and holler or moo like a cow. It don't matter. Just release it.
Okay. So,
I want to say to the people that don't know, this girl drove from California.
Yep.
Yes, from California to New York.
That's for this.
That's right. Release it.
I know for sure I'm here for a reason. I talked to Robert the first time, and then that starts with love, self-love, and then I had shifting with Brian, and everything just went tremendously. I've changed. It's all about letting go. She also helped me, Jackie. Her messages every time like really resonated, and I felt it. She kind of saw it and she did saw it. It's not kind of, she did saw it. And I was really had so much faith, in the unseen, like letting go. As soon as I let go, it's like, oh my gosh, like all of this things that the vision, the things that appears, it's like, wow, it's like I don't need to rely on anything because I already have God. God is in me. God.
That's right.
And with God, everything is possible. Nothing
That's
is
right.
impossible. As long as we know who we really are, the truth, that we are the divine. We are the spark of the divine. We are God Himself.
That's
Why are
right.
we gonna freaking worry? There's no more fucking fear. Like goodness. Like get rid of it. Like there's a lot of people out there that's like had so much fear because they're so attached to the culture, to the religion, and sorry, I've been having this, my intuitive empaths
Never
actually getting
apologize
stronger.
for who you are. Let it
I
flow.
start feeling people's energy, and actually 2 weeks ago, the more I actually talk, the more my spiritual gift is like you're releasing, you're getting more stronger. And I was just sitting in the car because I had a class. I was sitting in the car, just listening to songs, and then I start feeling like my heart was so full of anxiety, worry. It's like I can't even breathe. And I was like, why am I feeling this way? And then I realized, hold on a second, we are all connected to each other.
That's right.
I can talk to that. So I touched my heart and I was like, hey, it's okay. Whatever you're feeling, it's all gonna be okay. I'm with you. I'm with you. Everything's okay. You can calm down now. Calm down your heart. Whatever is going on, whatever you're going through, we are here. I am here. I am here. Everything, have peace. Have peace because that's all you have. You already have it. Have peace about it. Everything just literally calm down, you know. And there's so many people too that's coming to me for help out of the blue. It's because once you have that vibration, once you have your higher self, you start attracting the people that really needs it, you know. And that's why I always keep telling on Facebook, you have to prioritize yourself, serve yourself first. Because if you're on the low vibration, then you're just gonna put that towards other people.
That's right.
And then what's gonna happen? Then you're just gonna end up making them feel worse. On the level of what they're feeling, all those lower vibrations, all the negativity. So I told them that you can always create your reality. Everything comes from here. First release. Accept first. Accept that you're feeling it. And then realize, okay, why am I feeling this? Brian already told that like a week ago. and and then after that, ask many questions. And because God is in you, God is talking to your higher self. And once you realize, like, oh, okay, hold on, why am I feeling that way? Then it's like, no, that's not true about me. And I had that shifting too. It's like, that's not true about me. I know who I am. It's like, okay, no. And guess what? It's like, whatever I'm feeling right now, this is what I've been doing to myself. When something starts triggering me, and what I do is I touch my heart and I say, you know what, it's okay that I'm feeling this way. I accept it, but that's not true about me. It's what they see about themselves, and it's reflecting on their own self. So what I can do is I can just shield myself, know what's going on, be aware. Awareness is the key too. You have to be aware. The more conscious you are, the more aware you are, or the more aware you are, the more conscious you are.
That's true.
Vice versa.
That is so true. Awareness
Yeah.
is the key to a manifestation of who you are, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then after that, I just let it go. I just say, and you know what, whatever negative things that I'm feeling right now, it's okay. I'm gonna let it go and I'm gonna move on and just focus on now. Because whatever is like 5 seconds ago, 3 seconds ago doesn't even exist anymore.
That's right.
It doesn't exist,
Right.
you know, and that's why it says in the Bible too, focus on today, because the past doesn't even matter, the tomorrow
That's
doesn't
right.
even matter, because you can only control now, like now, you know,
That's
and
right.
you can create your own reality. You can make, sorry, I don't know where I'm going here.
Let it flow.
And
Wherever you want to go.
and also like there's no hell, and
That's right.
it's what you make of it. Okay, if you want to so focus on negativity, then you're making a hell of yourself.
That's right.
Right. And if you want, sorry. But if you just want positive goodness, love, oh my gosh, you're already in
That's
heaven. I already know, because I felt that. I felt God's love twice, like unconditional love. I don't even know how, but it's like I already see it. It's just like embracing you with so much love, and I can't even explain it. It's like words can't even explain it. So I'm not going back. There's no going back.
That's right.
Once you know the truth, you're not going back at all, and you're just gonna keep pursuing happiness, joy, helping
Yes.
others, sharing, you know, and whatever you have, just share it, because that's all for us. And once
Wow.
you see that we're all one together, goodness, imagine what you can do. You're just gonna keep sharing, share more here and there, because and the other thing too, okay, I don't even know why I got here, but I do know, of course. Trusting God and having that faith, manifestation too, that comes with that.
Yes.
I went all the way here, and I know God has been providing for me.
That's right.
He's been providing some, you know, the just keep coming. It just keeps coming.
You
Because
are
I trust
generosity and you are
faithful.
prosperity.
I just like giving,
That's
giving,
right.
giving, giving. That's what it's all about. Giving what you have. And my number one tip is self-love. Wake up in the morning and say, you know what? It's actually a great day. It's already a great day, you know.
That's right.
And you can change that first thing in the morning. Change it. You can change it, like Dr. Joe Dispenza, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Joe
Bunches of
Dispenza.
different things.
He's the man.
Yes. So you can control your mind. It's you too. So it's your choice. God given us a choice. So you choose to be happy or you choose to be sad. And I always choose happiness, no matter what. I don't let anyone affect my energy anymore, because that's what's important to me. In order for me to help others, share my wisdom, share what really love is. It's all about helping, caring, loving. We're all one. We are all one. It's like
We are
once
all
you
one.
start loving yourself, you start with loving yourself, you end up loving others. Like really, really. It's like I love you because I love me.
That's right.
And yeah, God is good. Everyone, I'm so happy that I'm here.
Oh, we love
That's
you.
it for now. There's gonna be more episodes.
Beautiful. That was
Thank you.
beautiful. Give me another hug. You are so amazing. You inspire me. I love seeing the inspiration. You can go relax now. Sorry for putting you on the stage. I just I had to get you up here. No, I'm not, but you know, just I pretend I am, but I'm not. We're gonna have some sound here in just a minute. Actually, I've got my own mic. What am I using this one for? We're gonna have some awesome sound here in just a moment, and so I'm really with. Are you guys gonna do it together or separate? Do you guys play together? Well, we're just gonna let it flow, and if we make a joyful noise, so be it, right? I'm sure it's gonna be good. So we're gonna have them flow in just a minute, a little bit, and as they flow, if you have a sound or a prophetic sound that you want to sing, just grab the mic or sing from where you're at and let it flow, because the spontaneous flow is true worship. It's not like what we've known as the entertainment. See, people that carry sound aren't here to entertain, all right? They're here to break open the sound of who you are. And that's the sound. That's the sound, right? Of who you are. You know, I just got to kind of just feel that realm right now. All right, there's a realm that keeps sweeping through, and I know this is. We think that we're in a room full of people, but we're really in an inner dialogue with the higher self or the great I am. Okay, And just like you, people are being drawn to you right now, because your frequency is raised. You got to realize at one level, it's people being drawn, but at another level, it's reconciliation within yourself, because the people represent your own reconciliation. So when people are drawn to you and you pour out, Jesus said, I don't come to be ministered unto, but to minister and give my life a ransom. What he was also doing is healing himself. And people don't understand this. Jesus didn't have it any better than you or me, and he never presented himself as better than you or me. So if we want to exalt a man, we can go ahead and exalt the golden calf with him. Because Jesus ran when they wanted to make him king. This isn't about Jesus. Jesus never made it about Jesus. Jesus made it about you. And he said, now, if you're gonna truly walk as you truly are, then you walk as I walk, and you don't see him making it about him. Just like you don't make it about you. You make it about everybody else, which is really you going inward and dealing with the inward parts of yourself. Right? Jesus is our greatest example, but he never wanted to be worshiped. Mankind, when we don't know who we are, we always look for a God outside of ourselves. We need our golden calf Yahweh, And so Jesus made it clear the kingdom is within you. And can I bust your bubble? Jesus didn't come up with that saying. Jesus did not come up with that saying, right? All right, well, I'll just use this mic. I can always go louder while everybody hugs. Jesus did not come up with the word, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It actually comes from ancient Egypt, thousands of years before the Jews. There is nothing new under the sun, guys, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing in the Bible that is original. In fact, they got it from every other religion. And it's nothing against that, because everything we're getting is from somebody else. And it's okay, because we're just going to take it to the next level. It's going to be a snowball effect. So, but people, when I bust their bubble like that, they get angry with me, because somehow they can't face the fact that they put all their cards in the basket of somebody else's opinion that lived hundreds or thousands of years ago that they don't know anything about. And anybody that does that is an idiot. I can say that because I was an idiot. Right? We were told, come on in, guys. Come in and join us. Come on in, ladies. Men, gentlemen, ladies. They're about ready to have like a party back there. I'm feeling left out all of a sudden. Come on in to Jesus land, to the land of plenty, to the land of milk and honey. You know the land of milk and honey is, right? It's your pineal gland. That's part of it. And your pituitary gland. The pineal gland releases, I believe, a white substance that then goes into your pituitary gland that releases a honey-like substance. And so the land of milk and honey is the third eye, which is the single eye that Jesus spoke of. See, you look with two eyes, but you only see with one. You can look all you want with two eyes, but that don't mean you have eyes to see. You actually only have one eye, and that is the single eye, which is the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is the biological manifestation of your visibility as spirit. I'll wait. You guys ready? All right. I can't flow until everybody's in one accord. We'll have a conversation later. Okay? All right. I want to give you something here before they begin to flow. These guys are excited. I'm excited. Whew. I want you to understand that when you are living out this dream, you're in a dream right now, right? No, really. You're dreaming that you're human. You're dreaming that you're not God. You know, how many here understand the cosmic joke? Raise your hand. There's a few. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, the rest of you will understand the cosmic joke. The cosmic joke is where God tricked himself and pretended he wasn't God and decided to be visible in the form of a weak human that looked dumb, and then surrounded himself with idols that he presented to look like himself that didn't look anything like him at all, not to ascend to himself, but to confront himself with contradictions and slavery, to have a beautiful backdrop for the forefront expression of who he is as love. You got to understand that invisibility has no expression. Invisibility has no embrace. The invisible God does not like to be invisible. And that's why you are experiencing visibility. All right? I used to think that the plan was to, when we transition, we're back to Casper the Friendly Ghost, We're in spirit form. We have reduced spirit to an ether floating around as a vapor, when spirit is right now. This is spirit. You're experiencing the greatest realm of spirit you could ever experience right now. Because it's the visibility of God, where he can actually touch himself, and I don't mean in the bad way, embrace himself, okay? That kind of sounded funny, right? Where he can hug himself, we'll say that. Yes, embrace himself, but have a directive of love. The lake of fire is the all-consuming, burning love of God, canceling itself out by reason of invisibility and chaotic love. When people come up with the doctrine of hell, it's because in the 3D mindset of living the dream as reality, the visible is their only reality, the sound they have heard from eternity, or that which is within them, they came up with hell because they misunderstood the misery of divinity as masculinity without femininity. Yes. All right? Don't ask me to say that again. Get the recording. Now I know I'm saying some stuff you may have never heard, but you got to realize the kingdom is within. And the kingdom being within mean everything you're experiencing. Everybody in here is you and your internal dialogue. It's every part of you. In my Father's house are many mansions. You ever tried to fit many mansions in a house? That's called quantum physics. You might be able to fit many houses in a mansion, but you can't fit many mansions in or many mansions in a house, unless you are operating outside of measurements. Okay? Beyond the length, width, depth, and height. To know, not to think, but to know. So everything people say, well, God, it's a mystery, it's not for us to know. It's not for that which has believed itself as dirt to know. But you are not dust, even though the dust is looking at you as you from another realm, but you are not the dust. But you are everything, but you are nothing. You are everywhere, and you are nowhere. This is the divine mystery. But it doesn't have to be a mystery. It's only a mystery to the 3D ear. Because when us, as God, gazes in upon us through our lie of separation, in which we need an external revelation. I've got the Dr. Seuss anointing on me right now. In that place, we don't hear mystery. We hear hysteria. We hear twisted imagery. So God could embrace you with love and you would hear hell, because you're resting on a word, not the water of the word. See, we've been reduced to words. And there's nothing wrong with words, because words do have power, but words are very puny in the 5D. You will begin to operate as you already have, telepathically, feeling the pain, speaking to them, okay? You don't have to make anything about you. I mean, we love doing like shift sessions, inner healing, all this stuff. But you know what we're really doing? Is we're posturing you in a place where you think you're broken to realize you never were. So all of our little ministries to deliver us is to deliver us from the belief that we need deliverance. Okay? We're working ourselves out of a job, but we need the placebo effect in order to wake up. Now, here's the thing. You don't wake up out of the dream because otherwise you're back to vapor. Casper, have you ever been in the void? Raise your hand if you've been in the void, where you died and your life was hidden. All right? Hidden from you. God was hidden from himself. Do you know that the invisible God cannot even be aware of his own existence? Did you know that? Not without the femininity. Let me give you a quick little reference point. Adam and Eve, right? In the garden, the allegory there, right? You notice I said allegory, not literal. It wasn't two naked people having a conversation with a talking snake in which God cursed the world because they ate the apple or some crap like that. It has nothing to do with that, right? And so Adam, God created Adam. That word created does not mean making something from nothing, because if divinity makes anything from something that doesn't already exist, divinity is less than divine and no longer knows all things or is all powerful, because now divinity has to come up with that which has not been previously within as divinity. So God or divinity does not create like we think. Divinity that creates is divinity that presses itself from one dimension into another, or from invisibility to visibility, from singularity into plurality, right? Into diversity, into expression. And so everything that God created in Adam, and there's a realm on you right now, brother. I just felt something just shift, and I saw these wings come off of you right there. And I saw mount up with wings as eagles, and they had all the colors of the rainbow on the feathers. And I feel like you are a defender to the outcasts. And I feel like you're going to begin to move with a lot of realms with the gay community. And there's going to be something that has been on you for the gay community to come into their identity. So I don't know exactly what that is. I've never had a word like that, but I immediately saw it. So you're going to connect with people that are going to connect. And it doesn't matter about whether we've had a background like that or not. You know what I mean? What matters is that there's a heart in you of love, and they need your love. Okay? They need your love. And you ain't there to change anybody. You're there to just break open the next level of who they truly are, right? Okay? Does that make sense? So God created Adam, or God had a thought of a visible manifestation and prepared an ingestation within him to embrace himself through Eve. Eve, the word Eve means that which is beforehand. I want you to get that. That which is beforehand. The rib isn't actually a rib. It's actually the structure in the Temple of Solomon that holds up the temple. Okay? It's the very structure of that which was beforehand. Okay? So when God pulled out of Adam Eve, Eve was not a woman in the sense that we think, but it says that God formed Eve while God created Adam. That word create means manifested, squeezed out, ordained, begotten, or fattened. Okay? Slowed down to visibility, we could say. All right? So I want you to see that everything within God giving birth to his own awareness of himself and herself, okay? The masculine and the feminine were never divided, but if you were to divide them from invisibility to visibility, you would see that the Adam is the masculine in God, where God had a dream of a human experience. That's why Adam was asleep, because in the dream, there was no visibility, there was only infinity in the love soup of the primordial revelation of divinity that could not embrace itself but was an all-consuming fire that as energy reached for itself, it would simply have to cycle itself into formation, because energy never dies, it only cycles into another form. But as the cycling of divinity and invisibility cycled, it began to bring forth Eve, that which is form. And that which is form is within the DNA strand of your being that you are observing as biology, for biology is reduced visibility, because we have to understand that you're not biological. You've just reduced yourself to it. Biology is where you experience limitations in the physical, but you're not physical, you're visible. I want you to get that. You are strings of light that have believed your environment was not strings of light. And therefore, you experience a different level. Now, what's amazing about that, the organs of the body, the liver, the kidneys, we got to understand if it's the observable universe. Now, let's get beyond organs. Organs are only for 3D people. Go to the 5D, your organs are doorways. They're doorways, they're superpowers, they're realms, they're treasures hidden. They're not biology anymore, okay? Now, to understand our DNA, which is Jacob's ladder, also your spine that carries all of the vibrations of the generations, okay? That DNA of Jacob's ladder in each ring of the ladder is vibrating strings, and in those strings are dimensions. So you're not going anywhere into another dimension because there is no space, time, or matter. You're okay. Space, time, or matter, okay? There's none of that. But yet, we've created the illusion of it because divinity in masculinity did not like infinity in invisibility. The primordial soup didn't want to be primordial because there would be no purpose to divinity and allness. So allness put on visibility as a harness, in which the harness interpreted it as duality, but duality has always been polarity, and polarity is the positive and negative charges that allow energy to have a directive, a flow, a purpose. Imagine an all-consuming fire reaching for itself. Where are you, myself? Zap, oops. Let's chase each other again. Unconditional love right outside of reach of expression. I want you to see this for a second. Now, you might not have heard this. This has been my encounter. I don't know how many understand what I'm talking about, okay? Whenever you're in the void, you want to get out of there and you want to come back and have a body, right? You don't want to be in the void. You're like, oh, just can I have a body, please? Why? Because that's actually the desire of the Word made flesh. It ain't your desire to escape the eternal bliss. It's eternal bliss wanting to be that bliss in an expression and embrace of itself. And so the Adam and Eve story is really about the masculine as the invisibility of God becoming aware of him and herself within the divine feminine as the visibility of God made manifest. So guess what happens when you transition from this life, which you never will, by the way. Okay, I got to say that again. There's nobody actually dies. Okay, but I saw him have a heart attack, and I was at the funeral, and they buried him 6 feet under. You saw the video game. You saw that which was observable in the program, the 3D program. Go to 5D, and you'll notice our solar system and all the planets are inhabited. They just look like they're uninhabited in the 3D. There's beings all over the place, and the planets and the universe and the multiverse all can fit on a tip of a pin within you, because there is no matter. Science has proven that. What is it? 0.0000000.1% matter? We are frequency, we are sound, we are light. And you got to walk in the light as he is in the light, right? Now, being that light, Just going to release that. So you don't have to get anything I'm saying. Just drink and don't think. If you don't understand, stand under. If it doesn't make sense, sense it. Okay? That's all you got to do is nothing. Cease to do, and you'll be, right? Right? So simple. So God decided to dream about the embrace, or the dream was, now you got to realize dreaming, let go of the definition of what a dream is. See, we define a dream as laying in bed and going to sleep, but it says God never sleeps nor slumbers. It also says that God awakes out of sleep as a man drunk with wine. So, in other words, God is asleep in the existence of himself until he awakes within a dream as a man. Drunk with the wine, that the moment you know you're dreaming, you can now control the dream. But when you don't know you're dreaming, you can't control it. Isn't that crazy? That's right. We're waking up. Now you don't want to wake up. That's right. You don't want to wake up out of the dream. You want to wake up within the dream. But see, death being an illusion, something just like flew at me. Oh, it was these lights. That's what it. We're only actually manifesting about what, 3.5% of our light spectrum in this visible experience. Yeah, very little. We're only 3.5% aware of our subconscious that makes all the decisions before they become conscious, and they make them emotionally. You never have made one logical, intellectual decision in your life. You just tricked yourself into believing you were in control consciously, but your subconscious moves on the stream of emotion. And if your emotion is out of alignment because you're still asleep in the dream and don't know that it's a dream, and you think it's your life, then you will make a bunch of stupid decisions that you didn't even know you made until you became conscious of it. But all those stupid decisions still bring you to the place of waking up, which is what's crazy. So you can't really mess it up, no matter how. I mean, I'm the chief of stupid decisions. So allness could not know itself without a harness of visibility, which was known as polarity, in the form of the divine feminine that now was bringing forth that which was the kingdom within. So the masculine, and I'm just going to say it, the seed is the fluid of the fluidity of God. The divine masculine is, and I'm going to just say it as it is, the holy semen of God. Okay? And that is our state without the visible. Echoing in a love bliss that can never express itself beyond the dream of nothingness. So the void of God is real. It's the masculine without the feminine. Thankfully, the feminine has always been in the masculine because there's never been a beginning. Even though we hear in the beginning, it's really in the beginning of you becoming aware of what's always been. Okay? So there's no beginning to God, but there is an epiphany in the divinity of God, of self-awareness of existence, in the feminine reflection of himself. Okay? Right? So now, why is this the cosmic joke? Because divinity said, let's dream that I'm not God. Let's build a bunch of idols that don't look anything like me and pretend that I'm going to know God, just so I can create a contrast, because it was fun. What if you didn't need a big purpose of being here? You remember all those days you had to get a prophetic word? I just need to know what I'm called to do, because I'm trying to escape all these terrible things in my life I don't want to look at, all these conclusions. So now I need all this purpose, and it's all complicated, in order to believe that I'm special. What makes you special is that God was bored with invisibility and decided to create a sitcom called Humanity, and you're in Saturday Night Live right now, okay? Right? And you did it not because there was a purpose, but because it was fun, because invincible divinity is having a blast. Yeah, it's fun. Now, our definition of fun, of course, we want to let go. We don't want sickness, disease, all of these things, but none of those things exist because you don't actually have a body. But you thought you did. You thought you did, and therefore you experienced it as your reality. You thought you had a body. But you don't have one. So in the 3D, when somebody dies, they drop dead, they're buried 6 feet under. But a 5D person is sitting there watching that person literally shift into dimensions and literally like a chrysalis transform. When I had an encounter with the Galactic Federation, the ETs, yes, and believe me, I rolled my eyes. I didn't believe in ETs until I had an encounter, and I'm laying in bed, and I'll just put it bluntly, it was on a magic mushroom trip that I experienced them. Now, why am I saying this? Because I was dying, and I was laying in bed for 6 months. I had healed myself through nutrition the first time. That lasted 2 weeks. I was back in bed. This has gone on for 3 years, okay? A little more than 3 years now. And then the second time, it was through prayer and prophetic words and revelation of how God was going to use me through this. And I went 5 months healed, okay? Now, there are a few in this room that know what I'm talking about because I was the one telling everybody, don't go do these magic mushrooms. It's not of God. So everything I persecuted, I found myself in doing, okay? I would roll my eyes at people that believed in aliens, never knew really any details. I just roll my eyes and turn it off. It'd go in one ear and out the other. And I used to do a lot of hallucinogens when I was a kid, and I did them to run from myself to party. And I'm thinking, you don't need any of that. You don't need any of that stuff. You don't need anything outside of you. You're complete. What's outside of you? Nothing. So what are you eating when you eat plant medicine? You're eating from the garden of your mind. Okay? It's called a placebo effect, in which you think you're eating something outside of you, but you're eating that which is within you. Okay? Now, so I was kind of like lecturing some ministries in my life that were doing this, cautioning them. My whole team knew it. My whole team I cautioned. And then I'm laying in bed for 6 months. And I'm dying. And I'm losing my memories. And my immune system has broken through the blood barrier of my brain and is killing off my cells. And there's nothing I could do about it because I still believed I had a brain. Right? I was stuck in the 3D. And so out of desperation, before I signed my will, and I was getting it all ready, and I started researching on what to do. I started with the reishi mushrooms and the lion's mane. It helped a little bit. And I came across an article of magic mushrooms that they were seeing if it was going to work on autoimmune, because I was dealing with autoimmune. And so rather than waiting 10 years for proof, I said, I'm going to be the guinea pig. So I made a few phone calls. I said, send me an ounce. And I just prayed. I said, what am I supposed to do? And it was like, can we shut that door? Thank you. What am I going to do? How am I going to do it? Should I microdose? What do? I don't know what to do. So I just researched. And I ended up deciding on once a week, moderate amount, like 3.5 grams. That was moderate. Of course, it was a weak strain, so it wasn't like, powerful stuff. And then once a month, I would do a large of 7 to 10 grams to break through my ego. Okay? And my wife was not for it in the beginning because we both had prejudices based on the brainwashing of the government and the system that say no to drugs. This is a war on drugs. We're trying to protect you. No, it was saying no on plant medicine. It was saying no on being awake, and it was saying no on freedom. Okay? They wanted big pharma to take over. And so now for me to do this live takes a lot of guts because I probably just let go of a third of my ministry right now. And I'm fine with that. Exactly. I don't have a body. But this is what I say to those offended. Don't let the door hit you with a good Lord split you. Because I no longer have issues. I don't care. I don't care. All I know is it's a tool. It's not a savior. Some people worship it. There's churches that worship this. I ain't into worshiping anything, period. I'm into love. We're into being and loving and being a loving being, right? And so I think I started taking it, and all based on getting healed of the physical issue, right? By the second time, I didn't care if I got healed because it was taking me deeper into places of my heart. I didn't know how much trauma I still had in my life. And it began to just strip away piece by piece. Shauna saw the evidence. It was very excruciating. Anybody in their right mind doesn't go and grab a bunch of magic mushrooms and just take them to party. You're an idiot if you think it's a party drug. It isn't. It's the scariest shit you'll ever take. You know, as far as I'm concerned, it's stuff that every week I'd have to psych myself up. Okay, here we go. I'm going in. I hope I make it back. Right? Okay, it's sacred. It's sacred and it's holy because you're sacred and holy. And so I'm doing it and I'm doing it and I'm feeling my memories coming back, but I'm still in bed. I was able to get up. Shauna and I started doing videos together. She did not want to do videos. It wasn't like, I feel called, let's minister. No, it was, honey, can you please come on the video because I can't finish a sentence because I don't have a brain. And I need you to help me finish my sentence so I can at least say something to the people so I can continue to give and pour out. Because when I pour out, I feel alive. When I stop pouring out, I die. Because you're wired to pour out. You're not wired to keep things to yourself. And I ain't talking about a ministry neither, you know? Talking about the fluidity of love, right? Yes. And so she would come on and do that. Well, it's funny because it wasn't even a large dose. It was the end of the second month. Or no, the beginning of end of the second month, coming into the third month. I said I was going to do it 3 months. And I took I think it was actually like a very small amount, 3 grams. Maybe not small for some of y'all. Now I'm a psychonaut, right? So, which is a psychedelic astronaut, if you don't know what that is. And that night, and again, I've rolled my eyes at aliens, okay? I don't believe, those aliens, those are fake. What are people are tripping. And I'm taken before the Galactic Federation. They show up, several of them. I do not know the lingo. I do not know names. I don't know any of this stuff. I haven't heard any. I didn't even know there was a religion on it. And they came and they said, we are the Galactic Federation and we have a contract with you to raise your frequency at the appointed time. And now is the time of your activation. I was taken by what they called themselves the Pleiadians. There were 3 that specifically were my bloodline because many of them are interconnected. And it was the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, and the Andromedans, okay? Those 3, I felt an immediate connection, and 2 of them said, hey, we're your parents, come with us. I said, what? Parents? Oh, believe me, I've gotten persecuted for saying that. But you got to understand, you got tons of parents depending on which dimension you're experiencing this in, okay? But I was taken to the third star in the Pleiades, okay, which is in the belt of Orion, which I knew nothing about at the time. And 2 days later, I had a friend, a prophetic lady who had no idea about any of this. Called me and said, I just want to let you know you're of the third star in the belt of Orion. And I had another person call me within 24 hours of this experience and say, does Galactic Federation mean anything to you? Okay. And by the way, at the end of this experience, which I was still tripping out on, is this real? Is this happening? Am I crazy? All of that goes through your mind. And they said, we're going to give you a sign in 3 days that this is all real. And that's when all the supposed UFOs started dropping in the skies, and they were being shot out of the skies, all the ones that were supposedly balloons. When I've never seen triangular or hexagon-shaped balloons that hover without any propulsion, and when they're shot out, not a dent on it. I mean, I just don't see that as a balloon. But the point is all of these visitations all over the nation, whether it's blue beam or not, I could care less. Only blue beam you got is the construction of the government that you built in your own mind that you think is a political empire on the outside of you, okay? And so I was taken to the Pleiadian planet, and I experienced the visible. I experienced 100,000 years in moments. And the thing to puff me up, but the download came, my memories were given back to me, and I was one of the generals in the Galactic Federation that helped plan the Earth's upgrade of 5D hundreds of thousands of years ago, in which I was coming to myself in the form of these beings, okay? So yeah, you can say, do you believe in reincarnation? Sure, but what is it? Coming, going, outside of space and time, how can you come and go? So yeah, on a 3D, we could say this is reincarnation, but on a 5D, it's a singularity beholding every version of itself all at the same time, right? Okay? Oneness, right? And so I'm there and I'm looking at the agriculture, and they have animals, weird looking animals, that, compared to ours. They all talk. But then nobody talks with their mouths. They all talk telepathically, and they don't talk telepathically in sentences. They reveal the history of their heart as a life experience. And you instantly live out their life, and nothing is hidden. They don't have one conversation here. Let me just give you this, live out just this little piece of my life. You live out their entire life over and over and over again within each other in an ecstasy of love. It's beautiful. Oneness. And as I was there, I remember the houses. The houses looked like oval-shaped houses, like all smooth, almost like a floating spaceship. And it hovered right off the ground. And you go up, and there wouldn't be a door, and you put your hand on it would sink into the wall like a code, and then a door would open. Or, depending on which way you put your hand, whether it was that way or that way, I'm not sure the actual signs, but you do it differently, and the whole house collapsed into this little tiny pin that they would sit on their forehead and would just sink in, and they could take it wherever they went. All right? Now, the Pleiadians, they said, we live 100,000 years, but we never die. Okay, show me the process. And I watched through the ages, including watching myself in the form of one of them, because in this experience, I was in the form of one of them. And I watched as there was this beautiful, literally the size of a tree, but it was a flowering tree with these long red funnel flowers that hung out of it. They would come near it, and a silver cord would come out of their belly, almost like where there would be a belly button, but there was not one. It would come out, and it would go, and it would meet another cord on the tree. Very similar to the Avatar movie, where they would take their hair or whatever and connect it in, but it would come out as a silver cord. And as it would connect to these flowering trees, their stem cells, and they would do it at certain ages, stem cells would come out of them and go into the tree. And they would stay in the tree protected until 100,000 years. And then they would go back to the tree, and they would sing this sound. And as they did, the flowers would tip, and they would drink of the wine of life, their own stem cells that had been germinating within this other DNA setup in these plants, right? And as they drank it, they would instantly turn into what looked like stone. And then they'd break out of themselves within a second for another, 100,000 years. Yeah. On the other side of the planet, there were these orbs, and it was them as spirit. And they could walk around biologically, physically, without biology, as visibility. They could morph. Even their clothes were made of DNA. Okay. It wasn't even clothes. It was crazy. Okay. And I mean, you see the picture and it's clothes, but that's because we're still seeing 3D. We still believe there's clothes, so therefore we see it. Okay. And so these beings, it was like I'll just say this, it was phenomenal. But they had these orbs of them that they could be beside themselves. And these orbs would be beaming into the earthly realm, which is really that which is within us. All right. And it would be releasing us as avatars. So you actually are an avatar. There are no new souls on the earth. There haven't been for quite a while. All that's left on the earth is the star seeds. Okay. So everybody that's on the earth is a direct descendant of the Anunnaki. All right. Which is the earliest story ever told, way before the Bible, that we are actually the hybrids of the first astronauts, which were not human like we think. Now, I know this sounds crazy, but I want to say this. It sounds more logical than a pool of incest in the Garden of Eden. Right? I mean, I won't go there. But anyway, point is, is that either you believe that you're born of incest from Adam and Eve having sex with their kids and their kids and their kids and their kids, or you believe the ancient Sumerian tablets, which is hundreds of thousands of years way before the Bible and all of that, where it was already sealed as they came from another realm. They came from the stars. Now, think about this for a minute. The morning star. Abraham asked the stars, "You shall be as the stars, more numerous than the stars." The three elements that you possess at the foundation of your biology is the same as stars. You are stardust, walking and talking and living and interacting. Okay? And so I was not a believer in this till I experienced it. And then after I experienced it, everything I researched was exactly what I encountered. And I had no prior knowledge of any of this stuff. Okay? It's kind of funny. That's how my journey is. I tend to encounter it. Then I have to study it to see if it was true or not. Because I don't always believe everything I encounter. Right? I always look for fruit. And so this was my journey. Now, in this experience, I'm living out these generations with them. And it all of a sudden occurs to me, well, wait a second. How do I get rid of Hashimoto's? So I said, hey, how do I get rid of Hashimoto's? And they looked and they laughed and they said, there's no such thing. What do you mean there's no such thing? Yeah, that's all fake. I'm like, well, it sure feels real to me. I'm going through hell, And they said, your body is moving in 3D memory, but your mind has upgraded to 5D. And there's a struggle. It's time to upgrade your DNA. And immediately I was shrunk down to a subatomic particle size being inside my own body. And I'm looking at this huge Empire State Building size string of DNA. And I look at it and I wave my hand and it unravels one direction, ravels up the next. And I was out of bed and all the pain left my body. And I've had nothing ever since. Okay? All my memories were restored. Now, when they said there's going to be a sign in 3 days and then all the UFOs or whatever it was started flying around, it wasn't just that convinced me. It was the fact that I can't hallucinate wholeness. And people think when they take psychedelics that it's a hallucinogen, and it's not. What you're living in right now in the 3D is the hallucination. Because your brain is producing DMT, the strongest hallucinogen on the face of the earth that is in every living thing. Right in the center of your brain, DMT is being released right now. The problem is because the system has wanted to keep you quiet and keep you, controlled, they have put things in the food to calcify your pineal gland. And so the DMT bypasses because it has to gain momentum through the pineal gland to magnify itself, because the Anunnaki put shutoff valves in the brain to shut down the production of DMT to where it would only circulate without breaking you open. There's one in your gut, a shutdown mechanism, and there's one in your brain. Okay? With the pineal gland is calcified, you cannot access the full unveiling of who you are in the multidimensional self. So what happens is when it's calcified, the DMT circles and it just pours over the conclusive structure of your ego belief system in the frontal lobe. And so all you experience is what you're experiencing right now. A body, a room, circumstances in your life. That's the hallucination. And when you take psilocybin or psychedelics, it comes in and it shuts down the frontal lobe, your ability to logically conclude or protect yourself or talk yourself out of things or reason. It shuts it down and it begins to break open the pineal gland, and it doesn't give you a hallucination. It opens up who you are and brings it into the forefront of your consciousness. So you experience the reality of everything you've been believing as one, everything you've known. Okay? Now, it's a tool that's a door that you use in seasons and times. It's not a magic pill, and it isn't the gospel. It's just a tool. And it carries some truth, but it isn't the truth. Does that make sense? When used properly, not for recreational use, not saying there's anything wrong with recreation. What I'm saying is when you face yourself, that's what psychedelic means, mind manifested, okay? So you're not seeing a hallucination. You're actually seeing who you've always been, and it breaks open. Many have reported the same thing, and this has been my experience. Yeah, you see fractals, and you see, forget about keeping your eyes open. You're just going to see weird stuff that has nothing to do with reality because you're still looking outward. Close your eyes, blindfold yourself, And when you go into the fractals, you go into the sound. You are the waves, the wind, the sound, the light. You are the void. You are the love soup of God birthing forth as a star system into a beginning, okay? And it changed my life. Changed my life. I am an advocate, And I've just heard so many testimonies and stories, and everybody's is unique and different. But the one thing that's the same is when they're done, they say, there's no death. There's no separation. None of the things that we thought made us afraid, none of those things are real anymore. And everybody's got the cosmic joke that's been there. The cosmic joke is that all the things you thought were God, that you were pursuing to find God, it was you were looking for the entire time. And you set it up to pretend you were lost because it was funny. I want you to understand it was all funny because there's no longer responsibility on you to get somewhere, to be something, to fulfill something or else. Your destiny is life is your entertainment. Enjoy the sitcom and have fun. Now, in that, you'll let go of all the false responsibility and you'll simply love. And guess what? You'll get so much more accomplished that way than trying to accomplish something as some destiny that you need to have to feel like you're complete. Make sense? All right? And so, yes, my gospel has changed. Just a little. I still love Jesus. I still love the Bible. It's a great book. Hey, I read it with my book that I wrote. It stands equal, just like any of your revelation stands equal. It's a great book, but it's still a book. We are the book we need to be reading. You are each other's living epistles, right? The Word made flesh. So that's just the beginning, starting tonight. To bring you into a 5D is to take you out of individuality and into the diversity of one. 5D is where everybody you see is you. That's 5D, right? 5D is a light body, upgraded DNA, not lower frequency biology, trying to make it work with self-help stuff, right? Right? I need to help myself right out of self-help. but we're moving from 3D to 5D. Many are upgrading their vibration. How many have been experiencing tons of symptoms of beautiful vibrations of glory and awakening, but also extreme opposites, right? Of when hell breaks loose, it breaks loose, all at the same time. But when heaven breaks loose, there's a clarity that supersedes, almost to the point where you're trying to turn it off because you're going to lose yourself in the depth, right? You think you're going nuts or something, or damn, did I already die? Yes. Exactly. And you are the breath and you are the water. But at first it took me a while to get used to this realm because I thought I had died and that somehow my mind couldn't let go of it. And I had created some in-between place that I was just spinning my tail in. And I'm like, oh man, am I in, what was that movie? It was The Same Day Every Day? Groundhog Day, yeah. I felt like I was stuck in Groundhog Day. And I actually had to call up a lady and she goes, oh, you're going backwards in the multiverse. I said, what? She goes, yeah, kind of like Doctor Strange. I said, you know what? That's my favorite guy. I love Doctor Strange, right? I mean, I'm Mr. Normal and he's Doctor Strange, but we're pretty closely related. And so she led me in this kind of encounter in which we went back, and she said it wasn't connected to my own emotion. It was connected to the vibration of ancestors that was holding on to my tree of life, my nervous system. You know your nervous system is a tree of life? Did you know that? Yeah. That's the tree of life, and it's Jacob's ladder all the way up your spine. Your spine and your nervous system carries the frequencies of everybody that has ever lived, and the memories of all humanity are in you. You carry the memories of all humanity. And so many things you think are your problem, you're actually picking up on the vibration or the echo of somebody else's pain, okay? Or somebody else that lived thousands of years ago, but their ancestry is living in the moment of that pain or in the cycle of that pain, right? And so I know it sounds complicated, but I needed to shift my chakras. They needed to be aligned, Shaka Khan, right? And so I call it my Shaka Khan chakras. But, I needed alignment. And so we went it back to before the beginning and we walked through it, and it really helped to balance me because I was dying 30 or 40 times a day. And this is, by the way, before shrooms. Okay? This is before taking those. I was having these deaths every day, 30 times a day, like memories. Like I'd be laying in bed watching TV and was that real? I'm looking around. Honey, am I still here? Honey, am I really here? Please tell me I'm really here. Did I die? Am I really here? That's freaking nuts, isn't it? I had no idea I was upgrading to 5D, that I was losing my third dimensional. I was losing my life to find it, okay? Because I had a fear of death, and I didn't even know I had it. So be encouraged. There is no death. You're in a dream. This weekend, many of you are going to wake up like you have never woken up. And I'm preparing you now. It's a little freaky, okay? Because right now, the things I'm telling you is almost like you're actually in a dream and there's paddles on you going, clear, clear, clear. There's things in your life. How many have seen the new Matrix? You seen the new Matrix? Really? Nobody's in here seen it? You got to go see it. The new Matrix, Neo is back, and he's put back to sleep, and he's back in another Matrix. But he's in the Matrix where he's the video game owner or maker of this video called The Matrix. And everywhere he goes is the people of his past with different faces, and he has a different face. They've overwritten his program so he's not recognizable. So nobody can recognize each other. But they get this sense like, I know you. Okay? But everywhere they go, there's clues that he's in a matrix. Haven't you seen the clues that you thought were signs from God that you were going somewhere? Prophecies of fulfillment? It had nothing to do with that. It was to show you you're in a dream. You're not actually trying to get anywhere or do anything. You're in a dream. Wake up from the dream. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. And when you wake up, you control the dream. Your ego is no longer ego. It becomes the power grid for the polarity of divinity, for allness to harness visibility. Allness has a harness, and that harness is polarity in what we thought was an ego. When you try to cross over and you realize that your ego didn't need to die, you know what I mean, right? There's nothing wrong with you. You do not have a separate voice in your head that you got to kill. The ego is spread out through your belief system as broken parts of you that part of you is trying to protect you from being more broken. So instead of killing your ego, start loving your ego, start embracing it, start reconciling yourself. There's nothing negative happening in your life. There is nothing negative. No, and I know that I haven't arrived there yet. I'm speaking where I'm believing I'm going to in my mind. Because I'd say sometimes about 60-40, sometimes 70-30, okay? So 70% of the time I'm there. But that damn RV, man, always knocks me, always knocks me back. Going up, yep, still some more ego there. Oh, no, I mean, people could stomp all over me. I'll love you. But that RV. But where's my wife? I had a revelation. So remember, guys, those watching on video, I said, why is it that when I'm thankful, everything breaks? But this is only concerning the RV. And I realized it. I got it. You want to know what the answer is? Yes. Because gratitude exposes the broken parts of the body. And when you're grateful, it's not that things break. It's that things that are broken surface for you to heal them, because gratitude heals. And I got that. You were helping me with that today too, Daniel, when we were flowing. And it was my wife. Y'all did. All the parts of my subconscious were present to aid me. That's who you are. When you love your enemies, you're loving the parts of your ego that you've rejected. That's right. Because it will cause even your enemies to be at peace with you. Why? Because the peace of God shall surpass your own understanding, and keep your mind and your heart in Christ, or in the reality of who you are. I went a little bit longer than I planned, about double the time. But I would love, yes. Sure. It's the end. Come up. And then we want you guys to flow. This is strange. We're doing this in the end, but it's okay. Go ahead.
There's no program. We wrote the script.
That's right.
I scripted myself in at the end.
That's right. Well, when you're done, we want you guys to come up and do your thing, okay? And I'm going to go sit down.
Sure. I just, first of all, want to say, welcome, okay? Oh my God. I could not be more overwhelmed. The only thing I can say is dreams really do come true, okay? To have been able to host this and see people coming from so far. You know, I was telling Lisa today, and I'm going to ask you to come up and testify. Yeah, I just want you to, because I want you to tell them how far back we go in this journey, and some of the parts of what you said, of what you just have witnessed with coming here and seeing me. She reconnected last week with me, and God has promised people were going to come back. And I did get a chance to pour into her for many, many years, and she poured into me. And some of the hardest places, when I was losing my house, as I had absolutely nobody, all my family left me, I had her, and she poured into me. And all of a sudden last week, it's like, it's time to reconnect, Jackie. I'm like, holy shit, it's happening. And she's so in this, and it's just so exciting. So just share a little.
Much as I think that you think I'm going to talk out there, I just really feel like God wants to speak to you and just say, Jackie, I am so I can't even say I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful for you. Well done, good and faithful one. You have been faithful. There have been so many words spoken over you, but everybody else left and you stayed and you held on to the one. You held on to what you saw, to what you knew. With it was faith. It was faith. It was faith. It was faith because you couldn't see it, but you saw it, and so you held on to that. Yeah, you did. And so all I did is I wrote to her and I said, it's time for me to come back home. Would you have me? And she said, well, yeah. And you're going to love all the people because they're just like you, Lise. And I'm like, oh, I can't wait. And all I said was, I just said, I just sent such a warmth in my heart for the space that this one has been holding. I can't tell you guys, we have made it through so much, but what she could see and what she could feel and what she could sense and what she kept on saying and prophesying and believing for in the midst of it not happening, not a year, not 2 years, not 10 years. This girl has been holding on for 13 and 14 and 15 years, and that's only how long I've known her. And she just kept on being faithful, kept on believing what was spoken and what she knew in her heart, in her belly, what was good. And I'm telling you, I would call her and be like, oh, I'm having a tough time. She'd leave everything. She'd come to my house. We had some wild and crazy times. And my husband's like, what the hell is going on in the other room? And I'm like, I'm giving birth in here. So I just, honor is the word that I hear. I just feel like, just honor for this one, which I know that she is part us. Like, this is us. So we are honoring ourselves, but this one, honor to her. Honor to this one.
Well, I am you. And I'm so glad I'm not breaking down because I've had so many breakdowns in the last month. That's all I can say. I got a chance to go south, and I know many of you know my grandbabies are leaving, and it happened within 6 weeks, and they're gone this coming Saturday. But I got to go down, and this was very special to me. Even though Brian did not show up on time, we won't talk about that, and he owes me. Trust me, I'm going to get what he owes me. And but yeah, it's coming. I've been in wealth and I've been in abundance, and I already know what's coming. So remember, we've been there. But all I want to say is I went south. He took a whole week off just to be with me, and I needed it. And I hit depths of brokenness and pain. And I'm going to tell you, you all know my granddaughters. I came back having such a new perception of what God was doing and that he was in it all. And I'm now able to play with them. I don't even weep when I'm with them right now. It's just absolutely freaking amazing what happened down there. I mean, and it was so hard for me to go because I thought, oh my God, they're leaving. I'm going down south. I'm doing this retreat. I can't be with them. But I heard his voice so freaking clear the day I had to book that ticket. So it was like, when I hear, so I had to go. But anyways, that was amazing, and I was so healed and so delivered, and I'm going to be honest, I did that 5D thing, and it was above and beyond, and I am radically changed, and the fruit that I have seen is off the chart, and all I can tell you is the fruit is love and oneness beyond your wildest imagination. Oh my God. All I know is I found the party I've been waiting for my whole life. God always told me, Jackie, do not ever be ashamed of wanting the high of highs. And he totally set me free of all the condemnation. He says, I designed you to go for the high of highs. And don't you ever be condemned. And I freaking found it. I'm telling you, I had a 4-hour party, and here's what I got to say. I said it to Brian 100 times. We made it. We did it, Brian. Tell them. Tell them we did it. And it was like, oh my God, do you see this? I went into wealth. I went into abundance. I went into multiplication. And as I was going into I went into the treasures and I went into the wonder. And then Brian's like, you're going into every part of who you are, Jackie. Holy freaking whatever. I'm telling you, it blew my mind. And I am forever changed. And all I can say is, one thing I want to say is, what's the word I'm looking for? Just position yourselves here to truly become the co-creator, because the revelation of what I've seen about this gathering is we got people in here that hearts have blown open. We got a heart coherence going on in this room that is above and beyond we could imagine. Every single person here was chosen to be here for such a time as this. And I would tell you, we have all freaking power to bring in and create what we have always dreamed of. I'm going to tell you right now, and oh my God, I kept saying to Brian, this is what I said to Brian. I said, Brian, do you see it? I was in it. I go, oh my God, they're bringing everything to us. They're going to give us everything to get this. It's coming. Can you see it? Can you see it? It was so above and beyond. And it was what he was talking about, the whole Jupiter thing too. And the whole Jupiter thing is wealth and abundance and all of that. And I just want to say, we are co-creators. We have all power. So imagine what we can do as we come together in this. We are going to see money miracles. We are going to see bodies healed in a twinkling of an eye, because all you got to do is become aware. That's all it is. It's awareness, awareness, awareness. It's like what she was saying. When you become aware, everything shifts, everything changes, and you don't do anything but become aware. It's so easy. And as we all gather, I'm a firm believer, and Brian taught me this, and I have stood on this for years. This meeting is not about Brian. It is not about me. It is about every beautiful divine table of exchange and face-to-face reflection that you sit down at the table with, that's going to give you your key, that's going to unlock your heart. We are not a freaking one-man show. I'm going to tell you, every single person in here has come with keys for somebody else. And every person you sit down with, you're going to minister to them. They're going to unlock you, and you're going to have a beautiful divine exchange, and you're going to come away changed. Not everybody needs a word from me. Not everybody needs a word from Brian. You all carry it. I have activated so freaking all many of you in here. And I'm going to tell you right now, we're just going to keep pushing you out there to make you arise and shine and realize that many are coming with their cup to receive, to partake of you. And when you pour out, I know this for a fact, when you pour out, you will have a face-to-face with you, and you'll get everything you need. I'm going to tell you right now, it's all about the face-to-face with you, and it will become a boomerang, and everything will come back to you. So if you look and give and pour, and you will grow as you flow. I'm going to tell you right now, you will grow as you flow, and you'll expand. And there's such an accelerated realm right now of what we're moving into. And why? There's forerunners in here that have been forerunning for you to now come in and not do or deal with what we all dealt with. So I just want to say, I want to give you an expectancy. Partake, expect above and beyond, okay? And do some things you'd never do. If you get uncomfortable and you get triggered, deal with your trigger face to face. There's no going away. And I will tell you, Brian taught me this years ago. I'll never forget when Victoria, I thought she had a little stomach ache down at the cabin one day. And they said, oh, she ain't feeling good. He goes, the hell she's not feeling good. He went right down there and pulled her out of the bed and brought her up and loved her and gave her the greatest breakthrough of her life that night, because he had zero tolerance for isolation. Zero tolerance, because we go through it all together. So this is a gathering of intimacy. And if something arises, you're going to get your freaking freedom here, okay? So it's vulnerability, it's transparency, and be you in the no judgment zone, because we have a whole group here that has a t-shirt on it all, baby.
That's right.
Okay? There ain't nothing that you could talk.
And if you don't show up on time, I'm coming to your door.
Yeah, that's it. But anyways, this is going to be amazing. Woo!
So I just want to take what she's saying. Brian did a live yesterday, I think, your last live on the road or whatever. I watched it late last night after I got here. So I'm like settling in. I'm watching that. So I'm receiving the frequency. And so when I did a live with Jackie, I even know that there was going to be an event or something. I was just like, I'm supposed to be there. I don't fucking know what the event is or what's going on or anything, but I'm supposed to be there. And Brian did a.
Tell everybody, because not everybody knows you're from Nicaragua.
Yeah, I live on an island, in a lake, in a jungle, in Nicaragua. On a volcano called Conception. Now, I already was like planning to come to the States and to do some events or something, but when she said, I was like, New York, okay. When I, where's my son? Now I'm traveling with my son, right? So we leave with just 2 backpacks. We don't know where we're going or whose houses we're staying at, where the money's coming from. I don't know. We didn't even have the planes tickets to come here till like a day ago or 2 days ago. But when you know that I'm supposed to be there with these people, I don't know why or what I'm going to receive. I'm supposed to be there amongst these people. And like Brian was saying, you sacrifice. You sacrifice the things that make sense, right? Like your money, your bills, rationale. Can I do it? Does it make sense? You sacrifice the sense to follow this impulse that's attracting you to where you're supposed to be, which is amongst these other people. And you don't even know why or what you're going to receive or who's going to give it or what, but you got to be there. And so you do whatever it takes to get your ass there, right? And then, like, all of a sudden, I'm in the kitchen, and we're having conversations, and people are just coming in saying, God's telling me to tell you this. And you're receiving love from different people, giving you the different pieces that you need. And all of it is undoing the things you've already concluded on and believed because of things you've been through. We need each other because every person is the key to unlocking the shit that you don't even know that you're still stuck in the limitations of your program until somebody comes in and says, hey, as a mother, I'm saying this. You don't even know what's your relationship with mother or your pastor or whatever. But they're stepping in the gap to heal or synchronize all those things. And it's everybody equally is the keys. It's the living keys to unlock your consciousness and to heal you by just loving each other. You don't know what that looks like until you get to where you're supposed to be. And then all of a sudden you're amongst the people and you're free to trust people to let them speak into you and agree with what you're saying, and you're upgrading into the thing. So anyway, when Brian was revelating, this verse came to me of how we always thought it was, right? Like Christ is coming for a spotless, blameless bride, right? And so it's like, as whatever church you were a part of, like, we got to do all this shit right or cut out the shit and you do all this stuff, but we're not understanding. First of all, this is the bride. Okay, this is the collective, and what the bride actually is the waters, and what the waters is consciousness. So Christ is coming for a spotless, blameless bride or consciousness, a collective consciousness, and the spots and the blemishes are the judgments that you have of yourself that ain't the truth. And you don't even know what the fuck you're judging about yourself until somebody else steps in and say, hey, I see you. And just by them saying it, it exposes the shit you didn't even know you was believing about yourself, but it brings it into the light that it's not the truth, and it gets set free. That spot, that blemish is gone. And so the spotless, blameless bride is the collective consciousness that trust each other so much to be vulnerable, naked, and unashamed and transparent with each other, to allow to yourself to be seen
Come on.
and allow other people to tell you what they see.
Come on.
And when they tell you in love what they see, it exposes the things you have believed, which contradict what they're saying, and it's gone. And the spots and the blemishes are disappearing just through fellowship of allowing people to speak to each other what I see in you, and the truth comes and it eliminates all the stuff that's not the truth.
Come on.
So Christ is coming right now in and through his bride as we collectively see each other and tell each other what we see and trust each other enough to receive what people are telling you that they see. And the whole reality is different when you leave. And you didn't even know what you were coming to get. You just knew, I gotta be there. Anyway, love you guys.
Man, I don't even know what to do now. John, could you come up here and you guys flow a little bit? You in the mood for it? It's up to you. You want to just let it flow? So I'll let them flow, and then as they're flowing, let's just soak in it. And when they're done, we're just going to release and just fellowship and be together, because that to me is the funnest part. These moments here are just a catalyst to take us higher so we can go deeper in our relationship. And when it's all done and said, just flow, go, glow. And then tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. is our Saturday. So be here. We'll be having breakfast and all, but be here ready to give and receive at 11 a.m. And then 6 p.m. Saturday night, and then it's 11 a.m. Sunday morning, and then fellowship all afternoon Sunday, okay? We usually do a Sunday night, but this time we're skipping it so we can just be together, right?
But we can still do something.
Yeah.
Be together.
Well, that's what we're always doing. We're always doing something.
It's going to be a lot.
It's always something, right? And it's always something good.
The thing is, we so categorize what it should be.
Yes.
When it's I tell people, you come to these community events, it's a meeting from the time we get together.
Well, yeah. Yeah, it's been going on way before 7 tonight. It's been all day. I know Tiffany over there, I heard her testimony of coming off just getting off the plane in a car with everybody, and she was just whacked. I mean, everybody's just prophesying and flowing, and she's just like, oh my gosh, we haven't even gotten there, and I'm already just having all this awesome, embrace, and that's what it's about. So I'm going to hand it to you, to both of you, to Jen and John, or Jennifer. I say Jen. Is Jen okay? Okay. Jen and John, which, hey, that's it. So we'll call it JJ is up. JJ is in the house. And you guys just let it flow. And yes.
I just want to thank Brian. Actually, everybody that's been speaking tonight has just been kind of like popcorn going off in my spirit. But even like Daniel, everything sort of was coming together because, frankly, with what's been going on the last year with all this new stuff for me and understanding the vastness of what this all is, I feel woefully inadequate playing this instrument. And I feel this instrument is woefully inadequate of really expressing all that God is. But then all of a sudden I went, no, wait a minute. Use your imagination.
Hey guys, could we listen, please?
Use your imagination.
Yes.
And let the frequencies do their thing. Yes. Allow the space that's existing that you don't even know is existing do its thing. And realize I'm not playing this. You all are. We're in this together. So I want everybody just to be into it together and do whatever you want to do.
Echo a little bit here. Like we figure this thing out. Oh yeah, somebody give you the mic.
So we're passing around some frankincense oil. It has a pretty powerful vibration. And if you feel called or led to, place a drop of it on your pineal gland. And let's just activate our third eye. Like, I know it sounds a little bit funny, those of us coming out of the church talking about the third eye. But let's just activate
Is that good?
our imagination. We are sound. Let's dive into who we are. Let's remember who we are. And I'm going to invite you all just to lower your gaze and close your eyes. We're going to enjoy this sound, and it's going to be, this is what I call a sound bath. Usually, I play a bunch of crystal bowls and Himalayan
That's
bowls
good.
and chimes and
Actually,
gongs and
reasonable right
drums,
there.
but we didn't have room in our car. So I brought a monochord, and this beautiful instrument is similar to what David would have played for Saul. And he did a lot of damage to what we used to call the demonic realm, right? But he set the captive free, and we really are bound in our mind. So Hippocrates used to say that, you're only as well as your mind is well. Your body follows your mind. So when we play sound, we remember who we are. We are sound, we are light, we are energy, we are frequency. So we're going to return to that, return to love. And we were talking a lot about keys, right? And people are our keys. Well, this is tuned to the key of F, which any of you guys know, the heart chakra. And F is one of those frequencies that unlocks the heart chakra. So we're going to be playing in the key of F here. And there's resonance in this beautiful instrument that plays the fifth harmonies. And we're just going to kind of vibe. Relax, close your eyes, take a couple of deep breaths. Feel the frankincense activating in your body and just remembering.
I'd like to play this on somebody's body. Somebody who needs either a healing touch or just wants to receive. You need to play it flat, just gently back. Just gently.
really want to do is play on Sunday.
Yeah, why don't you lay down? Lay down.
Wait. There's some yoga mats under there. Give her a yoga mat and a blanket. Huh? Yeah. It doesn't matter. Yeah, you can hold it. Good.
Is that gonna be quick enough? Or do you have